Hello there, welcome to my broadcast here on the most aggressive channel on the aggressive, naturally aggressive channel. I want to go over a couple of things I want to point out. Is the Seahawks dynasty over? What are some of the telltale signs that a dynasty is complete and it's done? There's one is poor performance. And you can just tell by watching them that things have gone down the drain. So that's one way. In another way, besides poor production out of players, I believe that poor production comes from um, paying players. Once the players get paid, it's almost a fact that the statistically wise, they are. I don't mean to bore anybody here, but Um, another telltale sign that a player might play like crap is when they get paid finally. Players have to play a certain way and have to, in their head, they're thinking certain things that they have to accomplish and get done to get the money that they are trying to achieve. So when they finally do reach that goal of their own personal goal, to achieve and get paid millions and zillions of dollars, then their performance goes usually on the norm. I mean, you could look at the statistics and show me and tell me I'm incorrect. I look at stacks and stats and facts, and I believe that, and I believe anybody who proves me wrong. So I'm not here to just blow smoke up people's butt, but also I am open to other people's opinion too on what they think, unless they start off telling me that I have no room to talk and that I don't know what I'm talking about. So, was there a collaboration between the players on the Seahawks defense? I don't know about the offense, except I think Marshawn Lynch, he wore Cam Chancellor's jersey out to practice. So I don't know why these players are sitting there supporting somebody who's not showing up to help them defeat other individuals. So evidently their heads are not where squared and where they should be. I believe that Earl Thomas is the only guy that I see out of all of those draft picks and out of the Legion of Boom that even looks like he's practical for the team and like he still puts the interest of the team first in his job and takes being a Seattle Seahawk very seriously. I don't think that Marshawn Lynch takes being a Seattle Seahawk very seriously, and I think he clowns a little bit too much with that. And I think that that's what we saw here is we saw a collaboration between a couple of the players who got paid. They Cam Chancellor, it wasn't that he didn't get paid. It wasn't like anybody was going to be messing Cam Chancellor over or anything like that. If anything, Cam Chancellor messed the entire world over for having that much money and then sitting there acting like a baby and not going to training camp and not going to um, help his teammates and help his team, which his ultimate task is to look out for the interest of the team. However, that falls down, we have to have the teams back, and that's how all of the players come together and can see one vision. That's what I always thought. But we have also, I believe, Richard Sherman was in on it. Um, my shocking kind of like opinion and conclusion to this whole fiasco is that I think that it's the interest of the team. Um, if the team um, needs to redraft players and move away from some of these players. So while Richard Sherman is still one of the hottest cornerbacks in the league, I think that they need to trade Richard Sherman for something that they need, like a lineman, like a center or something like that. They could get their center and their line back on track with the Richard Sherman trade. And then I think that they need to consider trading Marshawn Lynch for something else that falls on the interest of the Seattle Seahawks franchise. Looking out for the Seattle Seahawks franchise first and foremost, not putting any player or anything else ahead of the whole idea and concept of the team is there to win games and not collaborate with other players that are holding out and trying to cause your own interruptions and disruptions. I think is also a reason why I feel like Doug Baldwin is going to have to be traded or released here pretty soon too, because I see more of a headache for the staff and people and a disruption for their locker room. That's why I thought they went ahead and let Golden Tate go, and I think Doug Baldwin is going to evolve into a problem for the Seattle Seahawks locker room. And really, all those guys need their heads squared, and they need to be able to focus on one thing, and that's going and defeating players and knowing it and winning games. Nothing else counts, and nothing else is more important than winning those games and doing it fair and squarely. Okay, if Pete Carroll didn't do it fair and squarely enough for you guys without cheating like some other people, I mean, that think that that's how they put everything on the line is by figuring out a way how they can really break the rules and change the rules for their own self. The Seattle Seahawks did not do that. Pete Carroll put together a monster. Whether people want to say it was beastly on offense just as much as it was beastly on defense. You know, they say the Legion of Boom or whatever. That can be reconstructed, but obviously Pete Carroll and the general manager that the Seattle Seahawks have working for them, and their staff and their coaches are obviously dynamic people. They have eyes. They have scouts' eyes for the players and what I'm talking about in particular. So I'm not happy with this thing. It just adds frosting to and sprinkles even to the top of the cake over this Patriot thing to come out start the season knowing that and I shut my mouth. I didn't say anything for weeks about Cam Chancellor. I kept my mouth zipped. So I'm saying keep Earl Thomas, make him the new captain of the team, and trade all them other guys. And if all those other guys, Lynch, Baldwin, Chancellor, and Sherman, don't start playing a lot better here, I think that really people need to understand where I'm coming from and see that it's not the interest of the team if these guys aren't going to be 100%, at least at one game, right? But we don't want you to play half of what you have butt out there. So that's just my suggestion, and and I see possibly a couple of draft picks out there if you wanted to, or players. Well, you want to bring somebody in. Seattle, since Pete Carroll's been there, also has been notorious for letting people go and bringing people up in there. So I don't know why it's any different now than it was from the very beginning. They don't cater to anybody or covenant any player. They all got paid their royalties. Now they need to play the game, play smart, pretty much shut their mouth, but feel that excitement like yeah, we're going to win each game in that confidence. But what I'm saying is, um, uh, reserve themselves. So I don't mean to like, I don't mean to like kick them when they're down and say, "Shut up" to the Seahawks or whatever. I mean they need to reserve themselves, and they're not doing that because they're not being smart. They're not playing smart. They're collaborating with um, people who are not taking their job as being a professional athlete serious. So it just really bothers me. So I wanted to let the Seahawks know one final thing is that their loss in the Super Bowl was a jinx, even though I believe that the Patriots had you got your guys' call. Um, Basically, somehow on their headset, they could hear your plays, Seattle. Um, I felt that. That's how I felt after that. But it was not the Seahawks' fault. It was the Seahawks fans' fault because I've been a Seahawk fan since the late 80s. Um, Close to the mid 80s, but late 80s anyways. And I've been a fan of the Oregon Ducks, the home state I was born in. I started taking being a fan of theirs serious around 1999, 2000 area. So I've been a fan of them. So I've been a Seahawk, like the Seahawks a lot longer. But let me tell you why it was other Seahawk fans' fault is because of this mixed blood that they have between my Ducks and their Huskies. So they vented off and they cursed the Seahawks by mocking it up and laughing it up. They only cursed themselves last year and gave themselves the bad karma that they got to lose like that, even because of the way that some of them talk smack about the Oregon Ducks. And then, not only that, I'm going to admit something here because I was a jerk myself and I got excited and I talked smack back at them. I might have also had something to do. I'm taking credit for giving them the Ducks bad negativity and for basically I'll admit cursing them myself from not being able to control my mouth when people piss me off, when people made me agitated and highly irritable. But there you have it. So they got their state NFL team in Washington is on its way to winning 3, 4, 5 Super Bowls in a row, and here they are because their Huskies haven't been able to pull themselves up better than the Ducks the past hit their whole history or whatever. It's been forever since the Huskies have beat the Ducks. Actually, it comes a time, everybody knows that too, but they take it so personally that they're that they look past the fact that they had an NFL team there. Oregon doesn't, but besides that, they kind of were responding to something in college when they should have totally have been focused. We all should have been focused on the Seahawks, and if the Ducks aren't going to carry me as a fan, I'm looking at the Seahawks. They're freaking. I thought they were the strongest team in the whole league, really. So I mean, the strongest team can lose games from not playing smart and from being outplayed. Okay, and then the other team becomes a better team. They might not be as strong, but they were better if they won. So I don't know. All those aspects have got me irritated, and that's my opinion. And I'm sticking to it for now until I hear differently or see different out of them. But I do. I think like, what is it? What kind of collaboration is this that they, other than them just all being paid So they want to get Cam Chancellor, whatever he's holding out to try to get. I don't know. I have no idea. All I know is it didn't look good to me. And people who basically aren't concerned with money and royalties all that much, look at your paper monopoly money and just think that some people out here are just completely ridiculous.